Good afternoon. My name is Amar Singh and I'm a verbal trainer. I train students for GRE, GMAT, SAT, TOEFL, etc. Today in this lecture I'm going to talk about reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is a very important section when you talk about GMAT. Basically I'm focusing here on GMAT because reading comprehension is a subject, is a section which is 1/3 of your verbal. Reading comprehension is very important because it's a kind of open book test. You have to see, look into the passage and find the answer. But it is not as easy as it seems. I'll discuss two techniques of rapid reading. They are skimming and scanning. Like when you sit in the morning with a cup of coffee and read your newspaper, and when you attempt a reading comprehension passage in GMAT, these two are entirely different things. When you read your reading comprehension passage for GMAT, you have to be exactly active, like you have to attack the passage. You have to read vertically. We call it vertical reading, not horizontal reading. You have to skim through the passage very fast so that you have time to come back to the passage and answer the questions. Second technique of rapid reading is scanning. We go to the question, we read the question very carefully, what does it ask? Then we come back to the passage, we scan the passage and then we find out the answer. Once we have established the answer that okay, question number 1, the correct option is A, then also we should read through the other options and then we should establish our answer whether we have to click on A, B, C, D or E. Now I'll talk about different types of questions in GMAT. The first type is theme, related to theme of the passage. In this type of question, the wordings of the question can be different, like what is the theme of the passage, what can be a suitable heading of the passage, or the passage is primarily concerned with something, etc. Such type of questions can be answered by keeping in mind while reading the passage that what can be the theme of the passage. Basically and mainly you can find the answers to such questions in the first and the last paragraph of the passage, and then you can answer it. So while reading, keep it in mind what can be the theme of the passage, and mostly the first question of every passage is related to the theme of the passage. Then the second type can be what is the scope of the passage. Scope in the sense, while reading you should see what is the boundary, you can say, what is the scope, what has been discussed in the passage, and also while reading you should think what is the tone of the passage, because always every passage has one question related to the tone of the passage, like what is the tone of the author or what is the mood of the author. So such type of questions can be answered by looking out for those words which express the mood or the feeling, emotion of the author. Like the tone can be very negative, the tone can be slightly negative, the tone can be strongly negative, it can be strongly positive. So once you start practicing such kinds of tones, then you will be able to answer the questions related to the tone. And the third type of question which is asked in GMAT is specific details. Like the author means by this XYZ what? A, B, C or D. So a specific line or a term is picked out from the passage and a question is asked based on that. So locating the answer to such kind of questions is very easy. You just go to that particular part of the passage, you read that part, and then in the context, what does the phrase or the word mean, you can just find the answer and then you can click on the correct option. There are many other types of questions in reading comprehension which I won't be able to include all here, but I think for today this is enough. Later on I'll discuss much more about reading comprehension for GMAT or any other section for that matter. Thank you.